everybody, and welcome. And I'm sorry I'm running a little late with this take for this week, but this is my SmackDown take for 12:30 for WWE, and I'm here to give a short, brief recap at this point. We're really going to talk about the Royal Rumble in the aspect. I will be probably recapping that tonight. I'll probably be doing a few lives. Just please make sure you hit the notification button and like and subscribe. And we're going to continue going on with our segment. Of course, I think the opening night started off. I believe it was the mainly some of the competitors that are in the Fatal Four Way. Sami Zayn, who is going to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. So, of course, they're promoting that highly at this point. Again, if you are considerable WWE fan, I'm sorry, and Royal Rumble was presented in Saudi, so I believe this SmackDown is taking place at that event as well. So of course there was the appearance of Paul Heyman's vision with Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Interrupting the segment of Sami Zayn's hype trailer. Hype promo to the Royal Rumble in order to give him and Drew's storyline a sort of substance per se. And of course, it was Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Jey Uso all in the ring. Of course, all of these competitors. Three of the four competitors will be competing in the Royal Rumble. One will be competing for the WWE Championship. So, kind of made an interesting segment. And I believe I had picked before the Royal Rumble had occurred that I was going to have Randy win. Not going to spoil. I'm going to talk about that in my next live. But I had picked Randy to win. I thought Bianca was going to probably return, but again, I'm not going to talk about the Royal Rumble till my later on evening. And I believe at the point Randy enticing a 4-on-4 tag team style matchup, which will probably be a nice. It'll be a nice introduction to go ahead and get everybody into. That'll give everybody a nice introduction to the Royal Rumble segment. And I really do like knowing the fact that Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy and Jay are also going to be in the Rumble. Like I said, bringing on the star-studded aspect to this. And again, Carmelo Hayes, he was defending his United States Championship against Ray Phoenix. Um, Highly into prop matchup, honestly, with Carmelo Hayes and Ray Phoenix. I believe they're different. They're not. They're somewhat different, but somewhat agile styles. Really make for a high intense, somewhat of a high intensity volume matchup. I probably wouldn't be disappointed at that match per se, honestly. Um, just going off the highlights from within itself, I can honestly say I'll probably give the match maybe a 4 out of 5. Honestly, if we're just saying overall, because at Melo has taken the United States Championship and trying to run with it, which I'm loving the aspect of what they're giving him in this push. Uh, do I feel like it need to be maybe a little bit more star studded at this point? Like if maybe you have Ilya Dragunov, Sami Zayn, and try and think who also was another former United States champion within this bout. So of course, And of course, Melo had won. Congratulations to him. I would, like I said, would love to see maybe like a fatal four way since they have done one for the IC title last year. Maybe a triple threat. It could be very interesting. Maybe a fatal four way elimination style matchup for the United States Championship. Who knows? Coming to that Mania part, we are getting into the crack of the door for the WrestleMania aspect. So again, there is a lot to take in. There are a lot of storylines to build up. Seeing where they go is going to be the other interesting thing. Of course, we have the next segment, which is Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Of course, those two competitors are also in the. I'm sorry, they are also in the women's Royal Rumble matchup. So I believe that it'll be making it pretty interesting. And then to see also Julian and Kendall Gray getting a women's tag team championship, even though Julia is the women's United States champion, it is going to be interesting to see where does everything goes from line on from that point on. Again, Julia is a pretty interesting taste of flavor. I would kind of say that WWE has definitely um, expanded its international outreach per se with different superstars. So it is very interesting to see. And then I also love the also adding on to that. I love the interference or more the interruptions every time from Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. It also puts a lot of heat on them, which draws a lot more too. I am the biggest Lash Legend and biggest Nia Jax fan. Trust me. Um, they are. I can say they are like the biggest, not the biggest trolls, but it brings them a lot of heat, and especially to where the climate WWE is. Um, I honestly like the segments of how they interrupt and they all interact with each other. Majority of all the women, per se. And there was another matchup that we had. It was Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan against sorry, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Another matchup that just improperly and put there they had put in. Again, with them being in Saudi Arabia, don't expect them to be in their regular attire. Don't expect for most of the women to be in their regular attire. And Stephanie Valkyrie and Raquel Rodriguez, their and their rivalry has become very interesting, to say the least. I would hope to see where this goes because their matchup happens next Monday. Well, this Monday coming up. And again, with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they just wanted to gain momentum going into the Rumble again and keep that nostalgia going per se. Um, Another interesting comparator that's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble is I don't get a chance to talk about her on live as much. I need to go ahead and give the acknowledgement. But Jordan Grace, I've been one of the biggest fans since TNA. Wasn't too thrilled about the NXT run, but now trying to see, eh, not really trying to see how they're trying to rectify, but trying to book better more so than rather having her um, putting over women that are in on the NXT roster. And again, this is interesting to see her and Jade Cardell go at. I mean, it is a big powerhouse, women's powerhouse matchup. So it is a preference. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably ask people who whose physique you probably like better. Jade is well versely cut. I think Jordan's mainly just. I think Jordan mainly has the body of a definitely has the body of a power that transformed to a bodybuilder. But she is definitely on point. But I would love to see those two go at it for the um women's championship. So again, that is going to be coming up very soon. Um, Another match that I'm not really too thrilled about that is going to be happening. Um, it was already hinted at, unfortunately, uh, but it was the AJ Styles versus Gunther. Um, I am like many people. I have been absolutely the I have been the biggest AJ Styles fan. I have been since TNA, and honestly, for a minute, and I'm hoping that it does pull through. Again, I am just only hoping. I've never had the biggest hope for WWE per se as any of their takes that they do, especially with one of their biggest stars. With via John Cena earlier, well, with last year with his retirement, then Goldberg with his retirement for how they poorly um handled that. Again, I love Gunther's trolling. It is top notch, top grade. I would probably say it's 6'9" level. And, and again, I love Gunther's trolling, so it can be very interesting. Um, Again, I don't know if anybody else feels differently. Uh, AJ Styles has been AJ Styles has been one of those um, wrestlers I have seen throughout the years, and even though we've seen AJ Styles versus Gunther, I would rather see AJ win and pull through. But Gunther has obviously earned the biggest troll and biggest heat for all the right reasons. I'm not going to say that the man has not been deserving of the spotlight that he has gotten. Two time world heavyweight champion, longest reigning intercontinental champion in modern day era for I believe it was 2 years, close to it. But yeah, Gunther has earned all the respect. I kind of understand of why he is placed of where he's at. Do I feel that certain superstars should get a better exit way? Probably so, but that's a whole nother conversation on a whole nother day at that on this point in aspect. But when it comes to certain WWE legends, I really do feel like once their door closed, I feel like it should be kind of like how when we saw them and their reign on top, even though the writing was on the wall, unfortunately, but still. And I believe also on the next segment was the MFTs who are now the WWE Tag Team Champions that took them off of the Wyatt Six. Solo, and I believe it was Solo Sokoa, and I believe it was Tangaloa. So they're the tag team champions. Now will we probably see the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six? I'm hoping that we can see that again. I do like kind of seeing this faction. So, oh well, and then like I said, the fatal four-way matchup had started off with Cody Rhodes and team getting jumped apparently, and of course you already know. This is the automatic build up for the Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble again, which will happen. I will give my recap thoughts on everything that transpired. Again, if naming, if just trying to even go ahead and give a full front, probably about the full range of the SmackDown show, it wasn't that bad of a show. Honestly, I'm still go and give it to the winner of who won. Again, the match ended up with this. Sorry, because the match and the final match of the night ended up with disqualification interference from Drew McIntyre on Sami Zayn. Again, had to build. Sorry, had to build heat for, of course, the Royal Rumble, and of course, Jacob came out because I'm pretty sure he didn't forget about what Drew McIntyre did at Saturday night's main event. And it's of course because Drew McIntyre is the one that on story took Jacob Fatu out. So it is going to be great to be seeing those two in a rivalry. Maybe we might end up getting a triple threat. I don't know. Before, probably following after. Again, like seeing these hills now getting like different spotlights for a lot now more than ever. It has been pretty interesting. So again, seeing where WWE could possibly go, it has a nice trajectory, especially because when you end the night with Sammy giving Drew a Hululu kick, it give you the nostalgia that he could probably win. But of course, with him and Cody holding the belt together simultaneously, it kind of make it interesting, or more so the fact, like I said, it's just giving more lore. So hopefully, like I said, there's more in order to be covered. Um, going forward to WrestleMania, and more to these storylines. But again, I'm only one person, and Brian Breaker, seeing where he will go after this, it's going to be very interesting. But again, I am was only going to give a brief recap. Again, if you guys are interested in my wrestling vlog recaps, then please make sure you hit that notification button, like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Helps to get more in the algorithm, helps to get push the content out. And join me for my next WWE recap moment. We'll be recapping the Royal Rumble. And again, I will get back with you guys another time frame. Take it easy.